Valeria.
Jerome.
Yes, thank you so much just for being here. And this is our second day here at the Texas Fruit Festival in Austin, Texas. You've been to the Fruit Festival before?
This is only my first Texas Fruit Festival
Okay.
and my second fruit festival in general.
Where was your first fruit festival in general?
The first one was recently the one in Michigan that took
Okay,
place,
nice.
and it was in Gaylord, Michigan,
Mm,
in August,
okay.
and that was about 4 days or something
Mm-hmm.
of pure fun.
Pure fun. What was the most, I guess, one of the highlights that you had in the pure fun of Gaylord, Michigan?
I think just memories of sitting with friends in the grass, barefoot, eating
Mm.
fruit, talking about things that I'm also interested in,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with new people,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just enjoying the beauty of Michigan in the
Yeah.
summertime.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an adult summer camp.
Michigan.
Michigan.
Michigan. You're not from Michigan originally?
No, I'm not. I'm originally from a suburb of Chicago,
Okay.
and
Chi-town.
yeah, right,
The
Chi-Town.
Windy City.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So that's where I'm from, but I'm usually traveling for work majority of the year.
Okay. So you're from originally the Midwest. When you say traveling for work, what work keeps you traveling?
I'm a travel nurse by trade, and so most of the year I'm away from Chicago and I'm in another state
Mm-hmm.
working at a hospital.
Okay.
And currently I'm working in Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So you're stationed here right now.
I am stationed here, yes.
Awesome. So we'll see a little bit more of you around these parts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When you're
Yeah.
stationed in another location with your situation, like how long is the duration?
It's usually a few months.
Okay.
I might start out usually like 3 months, and then
Yeah.
I might extend if I want to, and if it works out between the two parties.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'll just move on and pick a different state or pick a different location,
Like a
and
gypsy.
like a gypsy,
Just moving
yes.
on, just moving on, just moving
Yes,
on.
it's been several years that I've been doing it. I think since like 2020, 2019, 2020.
So
Um,
for 6 years you've been just traveling like this.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah, and it fits my lifestyle at the moment. I'd
Uh-huh.
say I enjoy the freedom and flexibility,
Mm.
being able to go to fruit festivals whenever I want to, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of plan my life around my passions and interests,
Yeah.
which include traveling and meeting people like you and
Ah.
coming to these gatherings to just uplift and keep that momentum going of
Mm-hmm.
just love, love, love.
Yes, yes. So it's you never really needed to have like a home base or like a foundation in a certain location. Like you're really good just drifting.
Yeah, I'm pretty good just drifting, and I'd say traveling. I guess traveling has so many benefits,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always about the intention, right? Everything that we do is just about the intention.
Mm-hmm.
But traveling for me has always just been something that I've enjoyed.
Mm.
I've always been interested in new perspectives, people that have different interests than me,
Mm-hmm.
or just meeting different cultures and experiencing different things. And I only travel mostly around the US. So,
Okay.
but even within that, there's certain subcultures of
Mm-hmm.
being an American and what
Mm-hmm.
that means. And certain locations, you can just feel the vibration of
Mm-hmm.
that location and
Yes.
what's going on. And it's been a good practice of healing who I am, loosening the facades and removing the layers of who we thought we are, and
Yes.
lessons in humility,
Mm-hmm.
lessons in forgiveness.
Yes.
Traveling heals your relationship with the world around you,
Mm.
and then you realize more and more that the world is a reflection of yourself, as they say.
Absolutely.
And then that becomes an uplifting experience because you suddenly gain all this power that if the world is myself, then I'm the creator of my
Oh
world.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a revelation.
So it heals your relationship with the world.
Yes.
We live in a world of so much fear and pessimism and
Mm.
defense and separation.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, when I look at the world and see an aspect of myself in everything,
Mm-hmm.
to even the subtlest degree,
Mm-hmm.
like your eyelash. You know, how can I connect with your eyelash?
Wow.
Or that child,
Mm.
that crow over there who's
Mm-hmm.
looking for food.
Right.
I've looked for food before. I can
Okay.
relate to that.
Okay.
Or the birds that are just enjoying and observing. I can relate to that
Okay.
experience. And the world with traveling becomes, you realize that the earth is really just a school.
For sure.
And so it's helped me. I don't think traveling is necessary for everyone
Hmm.
to gain those experiences, but it's just allowed me to get those experiences for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the world is a school. Class is always in session
Class is always.
to see your progression.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like the universe is a university,
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
So I really love your perception, Val, to see that reflection and to feel that connection,
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
for a better direction. When you're talking about, I've looked for food before. I've been like that crow. I understand where the energy goes, how it all flows.
Yeah, right.
And what do we understand when you're talking about being in a place like this for the Texas Fruit Festival?
Mm-hmm.
These particular individuals coming together, learning and growing, kindred spirits that are coming together in celebration of healthy living, vibrant food, vitality, uplifting, empowering in the form of, produce, in the form of understanding that we can eat to live. We don't just have to eat or live to eat.
Yes.
Was this always in your consciousness? Or would you even label yourself vegan, fruitarian, or any of these labels that people give themselves? How would you say your lifestyle is?
Yeah, I think that nowadays language has developed because I believe that we've developed language due as a result of an inability to feel.
Okay.
And I believe that language serves a purpose today. And
Mm-hmm.
so labels such as vegan, raw vegan,
Mm-hmm.
fruitarian,
Mm-hmm.
breatharian, carnivore, vegetarian, pescatarian, the list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be useful to say, this is who I am, this is what I do in today's world.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be useful. However, we have to be careful with that because there's always the duality. You're going to see, is it separating you from people? Are you excluding now?
Okay.
Are we distancing ourselves?
Right.
Or is it just an expression of who you are and without any attachment to what the outcome is?
Okay.
So labels can be useful,
Mm-hmm.
but I always encourage people to just
Drop it.
leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Leave the labels on the table.
Leave the labels on the table.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah. Because with, people coming together for events like this in particular, what would you say is your lifestyle or your style of living? Or, one of my friends told me diet is like an acronym for like, do I experience this?
Wow.
So what is the experience that you have on this plane?
Yeah, I guess my experience, my diet is pretty much just a frugivore.
Okay.
Just fruits, lettuce,
Okay.
nuts and seeds, and
Yeah.
other things at a potluck maybe once, twice a year or something. But that's what I'm experiencing,
Okay.
in terms of diet, and it's enjoyable. But of course, so I guess that's the way I can describe my diet.
Yeah.
But the lifestyle is all encompassing, right? Diet is just one aspect of the
Right.
lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, as you go on the diet, you're building up your energy, you're
Right.
building up your prana, chi, whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And that energy, that Holy Spirit, that creator, that powerful fire in us that has infinite creative power.
Yes.
And we can hold that, and we can use diet as a tool to cultivate it
Mm-hmm.
and grow it. but it's always just about your intention with diet and lifestyle. It's like, what do you want to create? Our
Right.
diet and lifestyle is just a result of what we feel in our soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And just a small part of who we are.
it's just a small part
Very,
of
very
who we
small.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a very useful tool, I find, for
Mm-hmm.
people to, it's very practical.
Mm-hmm.
For the average person walking on the street who wants to improve themselves,
Mm-hmm.
well, just change your diet, because it will change your body. I mean,
Okay.
there's chemical processes going on. It will change your relationship with the air, the sun,
Mm-hmm.
your body's relationship with the ground and animals,
Absolutely.
and how efficient your body becomes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a very practical way, I think, to start improving your life.
For sure.
You can start exercising, you can start getting more sleep, of course,
sure.
or just starting to maybe change your environment, the people you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, diet, everyone picks different aspects to change their life. I mean, maybe some people are good at changing their exercise or getting more sleep, or but for me, diet has been very useful. It's just been the quickest, just been the easiest, simplest thing.
Okay.
And I found that changing my diet has helped me change everything else, my environment and the people I'm surrounded by.
Okay.
So,
So in what ways, I guess, physically, when you're talking about frugivore living, fruit-based lifestyle, fruit-based diet, you know, was there a big transition? Have you always been this way? Were you raised this way? Or was there a big turning point, like a crossroads that you were going this way and then you started going that way?
I guess I grew up eating the typical American diet.
Okay.
I will say that I grew up in a home that was a little bit more like, we don't want a bunch of sugary cereals or chips and processed foods. It was
Okay.
more of a treat to kind of get like the really sugary cereal.
Okay.
I kind of grew up with like the bland, checks,
Okay.
or the ones where you have to like add sugar to it, like
So,
Rice Krispies and the
okay.
plain stuff.
So Frosted Flakes, that was like a bonus.
Yeah,
That was like
that was a
Lucky
bonus.
Charms, Frosted Flakes,
Oh,
Fruity Loops.
yeah.
That was like
It was
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was like we're
yes,
balling.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Got you.
And I'm very thankful that I guess my parents did that in a way, because I guess there was a healthy level in general growing up in my house of like whole food, healthy food, still meats, drinking your milk, but we always had salad on the table still, although it was more of a side thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we never had a scale in our house. We never talked about diet and stuff. But of course, a lot of the common things, such as the nonverbal, the emotional nourishments, and the confusing communication between love and finish your food and the relationships with food and the weird complicated associations.
That's major.
Eating food while you're watching TV,
Right.
eating food while you're mad, eating food in silence, but you're all suppressing something that you got to say. And so those, of course, were present. That's honestly what was there. But I was always a slow eater, a picky eater. I never was super attracted to fruit and healthy foods. I just kind of ate what was given to me. I didn't have a particular anything that was out of the ordinary. I guess I was just kind of picky.
Okay.
But like I didn't like pizza or certain little foods.
You had preferences.
I had preferences.
Yeah, standards.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do remember I was a very slow eater.
Okay.
And I loved how my parents respected that too. I was a very slow eater.
You took your time.
I took my time.
Okay.
And they would not push. They would want me to finish my food, but they wouldn't push so much. So I would say my experience growing up could have been better, but I'm still grateful for it, and it was still, relatively healthier compared to other households who have a lot of junk food or they order out a lot.
For sure.
But yeah, and then as that developed, in college, I remember. I guess I'm going to talk about my journey.
Yeah.
And how I progressed with the diet.
Absolutely.
So college, I think maybe third year or something of college, I was being exposed to Gary Yourofsky's speeches and videos of slaughterhouses.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And in that moment, I remember just the hypocrisy hitting me immediately.
Same.
And I was bawling, and I remember my roommate coming home from the store, and she goes, "Are you okay?" I was just all puffy, face red. I was completely identifying and connecting with their suffering, with the animals. And I've always loved animals too. So that was when I went vegan. I went vegan then, and I guess it was pretty quick.
How young were you?
I was maybe 22,
Wow.
23 or something like that.
I wish I had gone vegan at that age. I wish. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, well, we're always, the universe brings us when we're ready to receive it. And so I went vegan relatively quickly after that, and just stopped buying meats and everything. And my transition to raw vegan, I was on vegan for a few years, and it was enjoyable. And then I actually went vegan while I was in a relationship, and my partner at the time, he completely accepted it. He was like, "Well, I don't know how I feel about it because I grew up on a chicken farm and all that stuff," but he was completely accepting of it.
Nice.
And eventually, he wanted to try it too.
Okay.
And then actually, long story short, he passed away.
Oh.
From cancer.
Whoa.
Yes. And so I had to go through that grieving process of losing a partner due to cancer. And I had already been aware somewhat. I was reading Dr. Michael Greger and a lot of the plant-based doctors, Neil Barnard, about the relationship between food and disease and all that. And so when he got sick, I remember helping him and trying to get him to eat more organic and taking care of, the spiritual journey of just being diagnosed with such a bad illness. And then he passed away, and that was really hard to process. I went through a really deep depression and dark time with that. And anyone knows who's been depressed before, it's like the world, I'm so thankful I can see like color now, but the world when you're depressed is all gray. I mean, there's absolutely no meaning. You're angry, you're upset, you're confused, you don't know what to feel, you're in denial. And yeah, and it's not like we were even, married or anything. We were just dating for like 2 years.
But still.
But it was really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, any kind of...
You had a connection, you had a bond.
Yeah. So, I don't know, for me, and I think for a lot of people, the death of a loved one can be a tremendous pivotal moment in your life to really force you to question the preciousness of life.
Yeah.
What is my life?
Yes.
What am I doing here?
Right. And
it really put the fire under my butt and really got me going to even more self-improvement of myself. So I intuitively kind of knew it's time to go raw. I need to clean myself out. I need to detox, because I understood the connection between cleaning myself out and the emotional healing.
Yes.
And to allow that grieving to process even smoother.
Right.
And so I started looking at influencers, and they started popping up on my YouTube thing. And I remember watching a video about John Rose and Dr. Robert Morris and Lauren Lockman, and all those. And so I just got inspired, and I went on the journey. So I started to eat more raw and the detoxes, the healing crisis, and all that. And ever since then, and now the diet's just a lot more simplified and beautiful, and there's no ups and downs. Right. It's just a beautiful kind of nourishment that I'm grateful for.
Wow.
And yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your testimony, and also Val, for your vulnerability. Just being open and just honest and transparent about the origins of where you are now, but also the pain that you've endured, and just those periods of darkness, like you said, darkness, going through that to see a light on the other side, like when things are bleak, when things are not looking colorful, and to come out on the other side and now be this vibrant and now be this being that we're seeing with this smile that I would have never known had gone through, just such traumatic events. So when you're talking about, okay, there's so much to unpack. So your partner Did the cancer come out of nowhere? Like, was it just out of nowhere?
It was pretty spontaneous.
There were no indications that, I mean,
No, he was playing soccer, athletic soccer,
so
two
he was
weeks
athletic.
before. Yeah.
I mean, he was his, cardiovascular is going. He's in movement.
Sure.
So I mean, his blood is pumping, his heart is pumping.
It
He's
started out with some stomach discomfort, some
okay.
gassy, bloaty,
Okay.
cramping, things like that. And then he went to the doctor to get it checked out because it was kind of like significantly abnormal.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, this doesn't look good. I need to send you to an oncologist. And then that's when the whole diagnosis happened.
And was he
And
already in a stage?
it was actually, I never asked him this stage and he never told me.
Okay.
It didn't matter. I was like, but I'm sure it was an advanced stage because he passed away 10 months later.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, he also decided to take some conventional treatments too, which was his free will choice. And, but
You're
yeah,
talking about like chemo?
yeah, chemotherapy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
With you, being in the medical field, being a traveling nurse, how do you feel about the conventional treatments? Like, how do you feel about chemo?
Yeah, I think I personally would never take it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just a reflection of the battle mindset that the world has against ourselves. And so it's the war. To me, chemotherapy and radiation are just like the same thing as putting bombs and spraying pesticides. It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
It's antibacteria, anti-life. And so but it's there. Everything is just, I don't have to hate it.
Yeah.
I don't have to judge it.
Yeah.
People choose it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They can still live a quality life if they even maybe detox after that.
But for yourself, that
But
would not
for
be an
myself,
option.
no.
Okay.
No. It's a blessing to know how the body works.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a blessing, and that's why. And that's why I love how people like you are just sharing about this lifestyle and stuff because, we don't need to take chemotherapy. We don't need to. There's other ways. There are other ways.
What did you cling to, Val? Like, what did you hold on to when there was no light at the end of the tunnel? Like, when your partner passed, even though it was only 2 years that you had bonded, you had had that partnership. When your partner passed, what lifted you up during that time? What gave you a feeling of hope and faith for the future? Like, what kept you here?
Yeah, that's a good question because I am, I guess I did have a concept of God. I will say that my concept of God was a little bit unhealthier than it is now, because a lot of people associate the way people think about God often is the way they think about their parents. And so we often think that God is punishing or shaming and always is the authority. They're telling you what's right and wrong. And so I did have a concept of God, but I didn't really love that God. I didn't want that God. But of course, in those times of despair, people go to God, or they open their their spiritual book, whatever their path is. And I grew up Catholic, and so I just something in me. I think there was, when we really sincerely feel our feelings to the fullest depth, there's like a magical thing that happens. That's when the universe and God, that's when it listens. When you're sincere about your prayer.
Sincerity.
How many times have you prayed without sincerity?
Yeah.
I have so many times. And I just feel like I naturally just got into a state of true humility and a willingness to be as sincere as possible, to wonder and ask God, there must be another way to this life.
Yes.
There's got to be another way. I know this isn't the world we're supposed to live in. I know that I was born to be happy. There's got to be another way. And and then all of these dark dreams, and I feel like detoxes was going on, and it was wonderful, and I would wake up crying, and after that, like, the whole series of events of like detox happened and things coming my way, and I saw the videos and I was looking at the books, and so I was being shown the other way.
Yes.
And it was gorgeous. It was wonderful.
Mm.
So I'm so thankful to have just learned how to be as healthy as possible. It's just wonderful because this stuff, it's funny because it's just about the diet.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so tremendous what it does to your life. And it's, so that was the moment of like, pivoting my path between depression and really moving towards happiness and joy and self-love, and healing and moving on.
Yes.
And realizing that everything in the past is just a blessing. And we also, in a way, the past never happened. We're just in the now too. So if we're holding on to the past, are we still getting in our way?
Yeah.
Between our growth. So it was the realization that there is another way, the asking of it, and the receiving of love and the other way, and that information.
Yes. That's a great point. Oh man, such a message, just like the things that we hold on to that could be holding us back.
Yes.
And just embracing the right now moment, the eternal now. We always have eternity in the now moment.
Yes.
And just letting go of the past. What is the past? Letting go. So that level of surrender, that level of allowing, that level of receptivity of the right now, the all that is, this current breath, this presence, is the present moment. They say today is a gift. That's why we call it the present, and it sounds so cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
It really is true. Like, this is what we have. So just thank you for that, because,
absolutely.
Yeah, Val, like, even as you were speaking, I feel very resonant with you on so many levels, especially how hypocrisy hit me when I started watching documentaries, going down the rabbit hole of, first it was Game Changers, there's What the Health. I was watching Game Changers. And then when I watched Earthlings, this documentary with Joaquin Phoenix narrating Earthlings, that was it for me. Once I saw that movie, that documentary, and it listed everything that we use animals for, for food, for consumption, for clothing, for entertainment, like circuses, for scientific advancement, and then even as pets, So it just listed all of these things that animals, that human beings, like, have governed over these species, like a whole species, let alone like race to race. People talk about racism. I never even conceived of speciesism, like a species that we feel that we have dominion over, just on like a birthright, like a God-given dominion over a whole species that is feeling and breathing. They have a heart, they have a mind, they have a family, they have offspring, they have emotions, they feel pain. And it's like, when I saw that documentary, like you said, the hypocrisy hits you. You go into a grocery store, and I no longer saw ground beef, ground turkey, rotisseries, hot wings. I saw dead bodies. I just saw dead animal carcasses and corpses. I just saw bodies. And I was like, what have I been doing? It just hit me. I got like really emotional. I was like, what is the difference between me and the vulture on the street, like picking this dead body? Like, what is the difference between us? I didn't see any difference. So I just felt like a scavenger that was just feasting on the carcasses of dead animals. And it had never clicked before I saw that documentary. It was like, I've just been eating dead animals. Like we don't think about it when we're young. At least I didn't. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? KFC and Popeyes and McDonald's, and like all of these fast food stores are just so normalized. It's so normal. But I was like, this is not normal, So you really connected on that level, and it really clicked and resonated when you said that you could never go back. Like, that was a line, that definitive line that I feel like I could never go back across, and I wouldn't want to. you know.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
that became for me as well, just briefly, just touching on my journey,
Yeah.
that it wasn't even for
Excellent.
longevity, it wasn't for vitality, it was for the animals. It was literally for the animals. Like, what have I been doing? So when you said at 22 or 22, you said 22.
I'm not the type that writes it down, but yeah,
But that's when it
22-ish,
transitioned. I
23.
wish I had been that early. You
Oh.
know, I was in my late 20s when I happened upon that. So I was around like 28
Okay.
when I changed my whole lifestyle, when I changed my diet, and I was like, no more, no longer.
28
So
years young.
yeah, 28 years young. I like that. I like that. So, Val, when it comes to detox, like you mentioned detoxification and different levels of purification and just letting go of the stagnation to have a higher vibration. When you're talking about this in terms of, we got the water, so like water feasting, hydration. Can you talk about meeting Lauren Lockman in Costa Rica? Can you talk about being at the Tanglewood Center? How did this encounter come about? And how did that also serve as a catalyst to catapult you into another consciousness?
Yeah, just another great divine synchronistic moment of my life that I'm so grateful for. I knew that I was raw for like 2 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in Seattle, Washington. I was working in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
I had a good group of friends there, lots of fun vegans. And my one friend, I was talking to them on the phone, and I was talking to them about like, yeah, I'm kind of having some. I felt like I was raw. I was very simple meals, but I was starting to plateau in my health. I wasn't seeing any more improvement anymore. I was actually starting to see some plateauing and actually some slowing down in digestion and stuff. Digestion has always been kind of a big thing for me and issues. Nothing was diagnosed. I've never had any diagnosed conditions, but I mean, anyone has digestive issues if you're eating the wrong foods.
Oh, yeah.
So I just had that kind of conventional, normalized, gassy bloatiness and stuff like that. And I understood that it was old stuff. It wasn't the fruit I was eating or the raw foods. It was just old stuff starting to be exposed. I also wonder if like the colon our digestive tract can absorb nutrients, but I think it also has it can create mucus.
Yeah.
I think it also has the ability to remove waste through the wall too, in order to be eliminated through.
Are we talking about mucoid plaque?
Yes.
Okay.
Mucoid plaque, but just any waste.
Anything.
In the tissues and organs. And so I almost imagined it that like I was plateauing, and I think there was actually like old waste coming out, perhaps.
That's what people talk about when the uneliminated waste matter that for some people has been in there for decades.
Yes.
That old hard black, like that stuff.
Yes.
It's like really caked in the lining of those walls.
Right.
The intestinal walls, for sure.
Absolutely. And they teach nothing about this
they don't.
In nursing school, by the way. I mean, nursing school is like how to start an IV and stuff. It's just so mechanical, so unloving, and but anyways, and analytical. But so you learn so much. But anyways, I was plateauing in my health. I was talking to a friend. I'm going, oh yeah, I'm starting to feel some things, and he was like, well, why don't you go to Tanglewood? And he knew Lauren Lockman from years back, and when he said that, it just ding, like it just hit me in my mind, and I just couldn't deny that. Like my perception was completely changed, and my whole mind was like, I'm going to Tanglewood.
Okay.
Like it's just happening. And I was accepting it, and I just said, yeah, absolutely. So I booked my stay there.
How much did it cost
oh gosh,
to be fasted at a fasting center?
Yeah, Tanglewood was not cheap. I think it was just under, I think, $8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah.
And how long did you stay there?
Well, I stayed for the longest bookable stay there, which was a 9-week stay.
9 weeks, 8,000.
Yeah.
You weren't messing around.
Now it might have been a little bit under 8,000 total with flights, but yeah, something around there. It wasn't cheap.
Okay. But you were committed. You were determined.
Yeah. What's $8,000 in a lifetime? And the changes and the more money that'll bring you after that $8,000.
You weren't thinking about the money. You're thinking about life. Yeah.
Yeah. the best gift you can give to someone, to the world, is working on yourself. There's just priceless abundance and benefits. So yeah, I just did it. Boom. Next day I had the interview with Lauren and talked to him and everything. So there I am. I'm November 2023. I went there.
Nice.
And started my fast. And Lauren was actually not present at Tanglewood. This was during the time when he wasn't present at Tanglewood personally. He was going through his stuff, but he was remotely leading fasts and stuff.
Gotcha.
And so
you were able to be in contact with him remotely?
Yes, right. He was doing his lectures and remote consults online. But I really just went for like just the fast. It was all me.
Yeah. And the environment.
The people.
Safety. Yeah.
Just being supported around other people that were fasting. And so, yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I ended up fasting for 30 days.
On water.
And water only.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Can you talk about first, I'd love to hear, what was the method of fasting? Because people have told me that Lauren Lockman's method is not like your regular, just like you're not guzzling water all day. You're like more slowly and gradually. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Lauren, and that's another reason why I chose Tanglewood versus other fasting centers, because I really respected his approach and his experience, and I agreed with it. So his approach was water fasting, and everyone was drinking around 5-6 liters a day of water, spring water that was served there. And the method is to sip throughout the day.
That's what I was thinking.
Sip slowly. Every minute, just take a sip.
Every minute?
Yes. And the concept, I was going to ask, do you understand the concept behind it? But like for anyone listening, the reason is because the smaller the quantity of water, the smaller the quantity of water molecules, the more efficient the absorption is. Okay, so because if you just chug water, you're just going to pee majority of it out. You might absorb some, but you're going to pee most of it out. And yeah, people understand that. Like, they've chugged water and peed a bunch out. So his method is a lot more slower sips throughout the day with the water fasting, and that he believes it provides more absorption for the old waste to come out when you refeed. And yeah, a lot of resting. So he always would repeat himself, as long as you're fasting properly, which meant pretty much drinking enough water and resting as much as possible. And resting meaning not even reading a book. Nothing.
No engagement with the mind.
No engagement with the mind.
Completely total rest.
Yes. I guess you're still in your thoughts and everything, but yeah, nothing distracting you, in other words, from feeling.
Was that challenging for you?
No, it was bliss for me.
Okay.
I loved it. It was actually the most amazing. I still miss that time. I imagine it might be similar to going to like a Vipassana or something, because
like
it was
a 10-day sit.
Yeah, just a very similar time where it's just dedicated to you. I dedicated that time. I was pretty much just silent, to silence, maybe just talking to the workers at the center, and even I was just whispering because I kind of just lost my voice with fasting. But it was just total silence, being in my thoughts. And it's not like my thoughts were anything special. I wasn't getting anything, You weren't
channeling information from the gods and goddesses.
No, I was just talking to myself or just going through old memories. It was just a lot of maintenance. It just seemed like mental maintenance.
You weren't receiving light codes from the Galactic Federation?
No, not at all. I mean, maybe some angels or celestial spirits were above me, I believe. But yeah, I really embraced it. I was very serious and committed to doing it the right way. And so it was a wonderful experience. I think for other people, it might have been harder. But another thing is because I'm so low, I was such a low weight to begin with. I've always been thin. And you see this often with thin people who are fasting, they often don't have trouble resting all day because that's all they want to do. They can't move. They don't have enough muscle to get up. And so I just wanted to be in bed all day.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel, Val, was so blissful, so euphoric, and so exhilarating about not eating solid food for 30 days? You're only drinking water. We're not talking about coconut water.
No.
We're not talking about teas. We're not talking about sugar. We're not talking about, there's no flavor. There's no taste.
There's no taste.
And so what is so blissful about going through that for 30 days when the average person people are afraid to do one day.
Yeah.
You did a whole month.
Yeah. It's because, I think it was the right timing. And when we force things, it just came out of a sense of power, I think, instead of of just, this is happening for me. It was like a soul decision, and I don't know, I guess, like right now, I wouldn't be ready to do that again.
No.
I don't want to.
You've done it already.
I've done it, but I can do it. I plan to do one again in the future.
Okay.
Maybe not so extended. I'll just listen to my body.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like today, I don't really feel like doing it.
Yeah.
But it's the timing that is gonna come to the person when they're ready.
Divine timing.
And that's, I think, if someone does a fast and forces 5 days, when they're actually hungry and their body just wants to continue eating, that's fine. If they want to do that, you can. You might get some health benefits, but I think it's even more beneficial when you wait until your body's ready for it, because now you're just not losing weight or whatever you want physically, the benefits, but now it's the emotional, it's the spiritual, and why not get all of it?
Yeah.
So some patience might be necessary for people, but I think for me it was just the right timing. I always knew I wanted to do one, a fast, especially before I have kids and a family and stuff, to just detox the body at least once. But yeah, it was just timing.
And did you find significant improvements just with your overall health as a whole? Like after that 30 days, did you feel like you had a completely new body?
Yes, I did. It was very transformational in the effects physically, just on all levels. Yeah, I felt like that time, and sometimes I still think back about that time, but I remember so clearly that my heart felt the most open it ever has in my entire life.
To this day?
To this day.
Wow.
I just remember waking up after the fast and refeeding, and maybe it was the environment and the people I was around and stuff, other forms of nourishment that were happening, and you're waking up with the animals and everything, the monkeys in the morning, and it's a beautiful environment. But I just remember, with the body so clean, I felt so much love for everyone around there, and so much selflessness for people around me. I just felt so much joy. I've never felt so much joy in my heart. Just from eating raw foods, I've felt that way, but especially after the fast, I felt this complete lightness that I accepted and I didn't want to run away from.
Yes.
Just like this lightness and joy and happiness, and I don't need anything right now. I'm completely nourished.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a whole new level of absorption and utilization and everything.
The non-needing, like the feeling like you're whole and complete.
Yes.
Even when you've had nothing to eat.
Yeah.
You are complete.
Yes.
Yes. It's the feeling like even though you're not eating, even though you're not feeding, you're not depleting.
Yes.
You're not needing.
Oh my gosh.
I love that, because you can be a lot more present with a person when there's nothing like taking up, they talk about the guts being like the second brain, or some people even call this the first brain. There's so many neurons and so many connections and so much, wiring down here that if the guts are gunked, there's not a lot of guidance. You know, the gut intuition, the gut instincts, the gut. You know,
Yes.
so when you cleared all of that, you're just completely empty. You can be completely filled with something else. You said the key word, Val. You said
What's that?
lightness.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
You know, when you become lighter, you bring more light in. You know,
Yeah.
more light can come in. You've made room for your container. You made space.
Yes.
And you know, you can also take in somebody a lot more efficiently, a lot more effectively, a lot more effortlessly. And that's a
Yes.
form of enlightenment. When you're lightening up the body, you're enlightened.
Yes. Right. It makes so much sense. You're enlighten up.
You're an
Yeah.
enlightened being. You know, you're enlightened. So I feel like that's one of the forms of enlightenment that people are searching for and seeking for. But it
Sure.
could be so much closer than we realize. It's like right under our nose.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, I don't believe I'm fully enlightened. I think enlightenment is a stairway, right? And I don't think that one fast it might do it, it might not. Sometimes other moments in life will just enlighten someone, but um, it progressed my level of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
It got me closer to my my fullest potential.
What do you think about when you think about what people call breath air eonism, or chronic living, or food freedom, or just being without, not as a fasting practice, but as a lifestyle?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's important, is it's not fasting.
Right.
Yeah, I will say I'm not super well versed. I haven't read all these books about breatharian and prana, and I haven't studied Eastern philosophy and Western. I'm not the greatest expert in this information, like other people that you and I might know. But I guess you're asking about like my perspective or my definition of breatharianism.
Yeah, and even just like what you thought
It's
about it when you encountered just even the possibility. Like, what is your perspective of that possibility?
my perspective of of our fullest potential is a completely united collective oneness among all of us, where we are completely in our most loving versions of ourselves. And what we believe that love looks like might not be exactly what our definition of love is, but it's a different way of being. It's an acceptance of what is. It's a living without any single fear in the back of our mind.
No fear.
It's acting, thinking, speaking, and behaving in a way that's fully aligned with God's will, or the will of this energy, which is loving.
Okay.
And it's truth and it's love. And those always go together, you know? And it's the way, it's life, it's the world, it's this earth, this beautiful, sweet earth, you know, this rock that we live in, that is always giving to us, and it's living in a way that's balancing all energetic systems of life. And um, it it is possible, you know. And so breatharianism to me is just experimenting with what nourishment is, what nourishment really is. There are so many forms. I laugh because like these fruit festivals, it's funny because it's a fruit festival, but I'm like never hungry. I'm just eating because everyone else is eating,
Right.
and I just start chomping on melon. But I just feel like just sitting and observing people, and just absorbing everything that's going on, and talking to people, like talking to you. I mean, this is a form of nourishment. I'm good for 6 hours after this.
It is. It
like,
is.
I don't need anything.
It is.
And it's really breatharianism is just kind of that next step of just practicing where are you truly getting your nourishment, and practicing that honesty for yourself. Because we can get into our addictions, and it's okay if we all have addictions to some degree, and they've all been developed, you know, even in the womb. You know, our beliefs and the concepts that were implanted in us since day one, since conception.
Yeah.
You know, they say the we were already like how do I say this? we basically have the beliefs. Our maternal grandmother, we existed inside of our maternal grandmother. Because the fetus in our grandma, our mother, when our mother was a fetus in our maternal grandmother's body, she already contained the eggs to create you.
Wow.
And so think about that. So not only do we have our mother and our father's concepts of life, ourselves and the world and other people, but we also have our other older generations, our grandmothers,
Yes.
concepts of herself, people, places, and things, and the world and God. And so when we are working on those belief systems, we basically come into this earth, I think, not, I think we come perfectly in a way, kind of, well, perfectly and imperfectly. Not exactly sure how to say it, but we come to learn, right?
Yes,
Our
yes.
soul comes to learn, and we make contracts and decisions with other souls, and everything is supposed to happen the way. There's a script here. There's a plan.
Yes.
And our goal is to, I think it's really just to go back to that source of love that we always have in us, but we're always denying or confusing and complicating it so much. And breatharianism, the more I learned about it, is like kind of just really connecting with that. It's really that form of true nourishment, which is the absolute love, capital L,
Yes.
that exists in all of us.
Beautiful.
And the energy and the potential that can create in our life. But we're just wanting to suppress it for some reason because we don't want to receive that.
Right.
We want to eat because we prefer that nourishment. We prefer those temptations. And everyone's on their path, so we're all just doing our thing. And
True.
I'm doing this addiction, this is my addiction, and I'm working on this, I'm working on that. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. But breatharianism is that reminder of like, food isn't the only nourishment.
Right.
Water isn't the only nourishment.
Right.
It's human touch. It's hugging.
Yes.
It's connection with other people. It's living with, believing that your cup is already full and you have so much to give.
Yeah.
Breatharianism taps into that for me. Not that I'm a breatharian at all, or I don't consider myself, but learning about the knowledge is just wonderful. It's just like wonderful blessing to know that there can be other forms of nourishment in this world.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, Valeria, thank you. Thank you for this vow. Thank you. And thank you for listening so much, just for tuning in. And Val, if somebody's listening to you and they really feel touched by your story, they want to tune in, they want to hear more of you, or maybe if there's a place that you have or a space that you have that people could see more of you or hear more, is there any place like that online?
Yeah, I do have a website.
Okay.
It's not very, it's just a website that has my writings about health and wellness.
Yes.
And I offer donation-based health coaching.
Okay. Yes. Where can they find that?
Yeah, it's basically my full name.com. So valeriaevans.com. And VALERIA EVANS, one word, .com. And yeah, I just offer donation-based health coaching. I do a little bit of iridology too. I'm starting to kind of distance myself from that. But I can help people who are interested in iridology. But I don't always, I'm moving away from the idea of telling people what to do. I'm more about cultivating the will to grow first.
Yes. That's important.
So that's where you can find me, and I'm happy to help anyone. And
cultivating the will to grow.
The will to grow.
Because where there's a will,
there's a way.
Come on, baby.
There is a way. There always is a way, guys. There always is a way.
Yes.
You can get out of the bubble of believing that there isn't another way. There is, and there are people willing to help you.
Yes.
Like Jerome and I.
Oh.
There are people that are for the movement of improving this world and the level of consciousness. So I really enjoyed talking to you, Jerome.
Man, this is awesome.
I really enjoyed this conversation, and thank you. And I know you've had your own journey too, and maybe your listeners already know, but yeah, I always like to reciprocate it. I want to talk about you, but I guess this was about me. So thank you for listening to me and letting me talk about my journey and my story. It's nothing special, but it can help someone. If it helps someone, that's all I care about. So
I know it did. It's helped me already. So I know if it's helped me, it's gonna help someone else.
Yeah, thank
for sure,
you.
for sure. Much love, and
Much love, everyone.
take care.
Bye bye.